I'm on a journey to platinum every single Skylanders game. I've already done Spiral's Adventure, Giants, and Trap Team, so in this video, we're doing... I was excited to play this game since I've heard great things about it, but I didn't realize that this could be one of the most unfun Skylanders platinums due to the 4 playthroughs required, including the dreaded Nightmare difficulty. But we'll see how this goes and how good this game is on my journey to get Skylanders Swap Force's Platinum Trophy. Except there's one problem. The Platinum is unobtainable, and that's because of this trophy called Newsworthy. All you have to do for it is read the message of the day. But because there's been no news about Skylanders for almost a decade, there is no message to read, rendering this trophy and Platinum impossible. I didn't want to skip this game entirely because of this, and neither did you guys, so I'll be going for every other trophy instead. I wish I could get the plat, but it is what it is. With that said, on to the story. As usual, the game starts with Eon introducing the Skylands and Skylanders. We know how this goes by now. This time, he introduces us to the Swap Force, whose duty was to protect the Cloudbreak Islands. Every 100 years, 4 elementals combine their powers at a magic volcano to replenish all the magic in Skylands, but this time they were attacked by the Darkness. The Swap Force defeated them, but they got trapped in the volcano's eruption, giving them the power to swap parts with each other, but also took them to Earth. In the present day, we're reintroduced to Flynn.
I gotta tell you, Hugo, this is gonna be awesome!
I don't have a Patrick Warburton joke this time. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, he's flying to Mount Cloudbreak to witness the eruption, but he's interrupted by a woman who is being chased by people who are attacking her home, so they fly into the volcano, which is where I come in.
8 legs and no legs!
Alright, let's do this. This is a crazy start, literally in a freaking volcano. After defeating my first enemies while Flynn screamed the entire time. Stop screaming, fool! We crash land, and the woman takes us to her village called Woodboro. This woman's name is Tessa, whom I already encountered in Trap Team since I played that before this one because of the stupid trophy. The level has me rescuing the villagers from Chompies and Greebles, and I played around with the swapping mechanic as well. The top and bottom parts each have different abilities, allowing me to make many different synergies. This also allows me to use the elemental bonuses as long as one of the halves matches. I really enjoy this mechanic, and you'll be seeing a lot of my synergies throughout the video. But after I took this final group down, I made it to Woodboro and got my first trophy. Welcome to Woodboro. We're introduced to the village crier named Rufus, who tells us that the chiefess has been captured and is held at Cascade Glade. Without her, the elementals I mentioned earlier won't return to Woodboro and Skyland's magic won't be replenished. So we head to Cascade Glade to rescue her. In the background, the main villain Chaos is messing with petrified darkness to create a machine called the Evilizer. This does what you'd probably expect, it makes things very evil, and we'll see the effects of this soon. At Cascade Glade, I'm introduced to a new type of puzzle, which requires me to join these 2 blobs together. So far, this is the only game that has this puzzle, and I easily prefer it to the lock puzzle from the other games. I don't know why they didn't bring this back. Anyway, the level just has me fighting through all the evilized Greebles, and after I defeated this last group, I rescued the Chiefess and earned another trophy. Chiefess rescued. Despite us rescuing her, Chaos was able to find out where the 4 elementals were, and he planned on evilizing one of them so that when they came together, evil would take over the Skylands. His servant Glumshank starts to lose confidence in the plan since we've stopped them so many times, so Chaos evilizes him and sends him to get more darkness. Back in Woodboro, the chiefess tells us that we need to protect the elementals, so we head to Mudwater Hollow to protect the first elemental, the ancient Flashfin. As I went through this level, I had to do some fishing because these guys do not know how to keep track of their stuff, and I had to ride with this guy named Snugglescale, who, despite saying he knows when to stop talking, doesn't.
That's one problem I never had. No, sir, I swear on the magic...
That is literally you right now. That is you right now. Later on, the Greebles start evilizing other creatures as well, which makes these some of the more dangerous enemies to fight. In the end, I had to destroy these evil crystals, and after I did that, the Flashfin was safe, and I finished the chapter. Swamp secured. With the Flashfin rescued, its power returned to Woodboro, but the crew still needed to know where the evilizers were coming from, and Snagglescale believed it was coming from the Rampart Ruins, so that's where we headed next. His hunch was right, and we needed to stop Glumshanks from using this place using...
The monkey.
What does that even mean? We help out these tree men while encountering a lot of new enemies, and in the end, Flynn was not lying about the monkey. You're cooked, buddy.
Wait! Stay back!
Dang! Ruins romped. It's not over though, because this leads into the first boss fight against evil Glumshanks. To deal damage to him, I needed to lure him into the spikes, leaving him vulnerable. This is how the fight plays out, just repeating this step while he launches missiles and summons enemies. This fight was pretty easy, but we'll see how it goes on Nightmare difficulty. But here's the end. Which just dealt damage to me. Whatever. Well, you got destroyed. Wow. There's a star for no damage taken? Glumshanks de-evilized. Glumshanks goes back to Chaos, but before Chaos could grill him, they're interrupted by a mysterious figure who happens to be... What? By the way, I do know her name is Chaosandra, but I'll continue to call her his mom. Anyway, she was the figure who fought the SWAT force all those years ago, and she pretty much berates him for letting the Skylanders come back and thwart his plans, which makes him go harder with his plans. The crew finds out he was going for the ancient Terror Squid, so we headed to Ironjaw Gulch to find out where the squid is. The place is being attacked by Greebles, so of course, we need to help the citizens. This chapter introduces me to a new type of enemy called the Golem, which can be found in a few different elements, and after I defeat 10 of them, I'll earn the trophy Golem Graveyard. The level has me destroying airships, while also having to grab handles that shouldn't be going missing, so I had to call them out for that. Again? You idiots need more security. I find that to be a huge theme with Skylanders, the lack of security these guys have. 70% of the problems you guys have could be solved if you just paid more attention to your stuff. How does somebody just take a handle? Why is it that these Skylanders are the only people who actually know how to fight back? But anyway, after destroying the last ship, I finished the chapter. Lawman. This trip was kinda useless though, because they didn't know where the Terror Squid was. But they redirected us to Motleyville, where someone could help us. Before I went there, the game showed me legendary treasures and how they can give you permanent buffs if you put them on these pedestals. So far, this is the only game where the treasures are actually useful, so I really appreciate that. In Motleyville, we encountered this guy named Baron Von Shellshock, who evilizes Tessa's bird Whiskers and locks the crew up. This leads to a small boss fight against Whiskers, which was really easy. He flies away and breaks the crew out, while Shellshock runs away, which is all he does for the entire chapter. We meet up with Sharpfin, the guy we came here for, and he says,
"Help me rid this town of him, and I'll be forever in your debt. For a little while at least."
That makes no sense, but okay. Unfortunately, I had some audio problems after that, and I didn't realize it for the next few chapters, so no more live reactions for a bit. Sorry. Throughout the chapter, I had to keep chasing Shellshock, eventually getting into another boss fight with Whiskers, which was also easy, and I was able to de-evilize him. At the end of the level, I finally cornered Shellshock in a boss fight where I had to blow him up with dynamite, and after I defeated him, he got what he deserved. Sharpfin takes us to the Twisty Tunnels, where we would find the ancient Terror Squid. Meanwhile, Chaos releases an evil Fire Viper, so there's that. The chapter had a bunch of Chill Bill wannabes, but more importantly, more golems, which allowed me to defeat my 10th golem. I had to destroy 3 Evilizer crystals while dodging the Fire Viper, and after I destroyed the 3rd one, I saved the Terror Squid and finished the chapter. This of course led to a boss fight against the Fire Viper. To defeat it, I needed to pin it down using plungers, then attack the crystals on its head. I had to repeat this a few times while the arena got more dangerous, and after I destroyed the last one, the fool ate me, and I needed to destroy one last crystal inside of it to finish it off. The Terror Squid returns to Woodburrow. Meanwhile, Chaos's mom visits Chaos with her crew to help him out. Since he kinda sucks in this game, it's been really easy to save the elementals. Speaking of the elementals, we head to the Boney Islands to speak to some elves who know about the ancient Frosthound. We speak to Avril, who tells us we need to help them reach their ship, so the whole chapter has me guiding their caravan through, having to refill it at times, and shoot some enemies, and that's really about it. Now that we helped them, Avril gives us a special snow globe that'll show us the way to the Frosthound. What a real one. However, we couldn't head there yet as it's in the Frostfest Mountains, which have really bad visibility, so we headed to the Winter Keep first to find something called the Illuminator. As always, there's trouble here, so I had to help the elves defend themselves from Cyclopes and more evilized animals. I had to destroy some ships as well and fight in a mini arena battle at the end, and after I did so, we got the Illuminator. Now we were able to head to the Frostfest Mountains, but in the background, Chaos's mom had a plan, and that was to release this abomination named Esmeralda, so we'll see her soon. This was another simple chapter. I just needed to illuminate some villages on the way to the Frost Town, which allowed me to continue up the mountain, and after a while, I rescued the Frost Town. As I said earlier, it's been really easy to save the elementals. I think they could have added a little more stakes to it. Well, I say that, and then Mesmeralda kidnaps the Frost Town, leading to, in my opinion, the best boss fight in the game. First of all, she's introduced with a musical, and her fight is themed around being on stage. Throughout the fight, I need to dodge these things that zip across, bombs pop up, and spikes, and as the fight continues, she combines all of these elements, so I needed to be extra careful. Between each phase, she hides behind her props, and I need to illuminate her to make her vulnerable. Overall, there are better bosses across the franchise, but considering that the other bosses in this game are a lot simpler compared to this one, I really liked it.
You're the one who pulled my strings.
With 3 of the elementals safe, all that was left was the ancient tree spirit, who was under the protection of the tree men, so we didn't have to do anything. Except that's not true because Chaos was spotted near her location. Quite literally too, he went personally with his army to burn her with evilized fire. I'm sure this is a great idea. So we headed to the Phantasm Forest to stop him. This was the longest level in the game, and it had me going around putting all the fires out. Now, I haven't been mentioning any collectibles, but this chapter had one I want to make fun of. I'll let this speak for itself.
My oldest friend was exploring this graveyard and has become trapped. If you help him, Skylander, I will reward you quite handsomely.
Okay, better be $1 million for every Skylander, not just one.
Oh, did I forget to mention that my friend is a dastardly spell punk? Mother always said I ran with the wrong crowd.
You're an idiot. You are an idiot. Say that way before. Like seriously, some of these guys are just actual morons in these games. Like, oh yeah, let's just leave out that very big detail that I have to fight your friend. Let's just leave that out. I'll take a legendary treasure after all that. Gold boost, never mind, I don't care. Oh, now that fool wants to disappear. This fool wants to disappear. He tried to get me killed. That fool tried to get me killed and he's just nowhere to be found? Man. Okay, I see how it is. I see. In the end, we saved the tree spirit and get into a little fight against Chaos where I just needed to spray water at his ship's exhaust, and after a while, he was done. You probably shouldn't have been on the field, man. What a loser. Woods wedded. With all 4 elementals safe, they were ready for the eruption ceremony. Chaos was captured, Tessa was promoted to chiefess, and nothing bad happened. I knew it! There had to be something. I mean, of course it wouldn't be that easy, and they needed a reason for Chaos's mom to be in the story. So she gets Chaos back and kidnaps Tessa, so now we needed to go to Chaos's fortress to stop her. Oh, and Flynn's ship got revamped. Pretty dope. With the help of this goat Softpaw, I needed to get into sheep disguises and destroy 3 sheep cannons. Yeah, they're straight up abusing sheep here. I mean, it gets worse from here, so I shouldn't even question this. But anyway, after destroying the last cannon, I made it to the fortress. Castle crashed. And now it was time to face Chaos's mom. Except you don't really face her, you fight a bunch of evilized creatures instead. Kinda lame. What isn't lame is what happens after you defeat each army. What? Why did it float? Okay. Oh no, I didn't think I won.
If you want me, you'll have to come find me.
What? What does that even mean?
Portal Masters can find Chaos's mother where she has gone.
Only Portal Masters. Huh? Oh! Oh, that's sick! Oh, that's really cool. Okay. It's always cool when the game breaks the 4th wall like this, like they did in Trap Team. After you find her, crystals drop from the ceiling, and you need to lure her laser into one of them, dealing damage to her. The second phase is the same as the first, just crazier, and the final phase has me fighting a bunch of Greebles and a giant Greeble. Once that's down, Tessa drops a mirror for me, and it sucks Cassandra in, ending the fight. Get smoked, what an easy boss fight. Calamity averted. Easy, bruh. She sucked. Although, as you can probably guess, Chaos escaped again and was filling the magic volcano with evil. Dude doesn't even care about his mom either.
Enjoy your mirror prison of oblivion, mother!
So we head to the core of the volcano where he evilizes himself, and this happens. Oh my gosh, he looks stupid! Remember how I said things would get worse? What is going on here? Super evil chaos. Uh-oh. Crusty feet, bruh.
Not my beautiful evil toes!
You are a freak. This is super freaky chaos, dog. It doesn't get better. After this phase, he eats me, and I have to shoot crystals on his teeth while he spawns golems and chompies. He then spits me out and I land in his ear, where his brain has full control and spawns lots of enemies. But this is the weirdest part of the phase. That is weird. That's just weird, bro. That's not even evil, that's just weird. Finally, he sneezes me out and I have to reach this turret while he shoots fire at me. This phase is basically free, although because I was low, I died for the first time here. This is one of the weakest chaos fights in my opinion, only beaten by Spyro's Adventure. It's just weird and not as fun as Giants or Trap Team. I'll show more of this fight and some of the others in Nightmare difficulty, but in the meantime, here's the end. You're cooked, fool! Oh, that was it. Wow. Champion of Skylands. As for beating the story, should be a chapter trophy as well. Chaos quashed. There we go. The heroes escaped the volcano, while Chaos and Glumshank switched bottom halves and got shot out of the volcano, and that's where the story ends. With the story done, I quickly got the only miscellaneous trophies, which were for lighting the fireworks on this tree, and diving off of the tree, and then moved on to the bonus missions. Throughout the levels, you can find maps for these missions or buy them from Tuck's Emporium, and they're mini levels where I have to complete an objective within a time limit. To get the trophy Heroic Champion, I needed to earn 3 stars on 5 of these missions. To do this, I needed to reach a certain score requirement. During the level, you have a score that is built up by killing enemies and collecting coins. The more you hit and kill enemies, the higher your combo will get, reaching a maximum of 10, but taking damage will reduce it by 1. On top of this, I have to beat the level before the timer runs out, and depending on how much time I spare, I'll get a big score bonus at the end. This first mission required me to defeat 95 chompies within 3 minutes and 50 seconds. There are some teleporters around that can lead me into traps, which I fell for at one point, so I ended up getting a bad time and not enough points, but at least I got a trophy for finishing my first one. New challenger. So I kept trying to kill the chompies faster and remember where the trap was so I could avoid it, and eventually I pulled it off. Oh, there you go. I just got jumped up to 300k. Bet. Yeah, there we go. Up and coming. The next bonus mission required me to disable 5 ice cream machines that were causing a storm in 4 minutes. This mission was simple, but I made so many mistakes during this, so my time bonus was terrible. But I played much better on the second attempt, and despite me turning this machine off late, I was able to pull it off. There we go. I didn't even see if I got the points. Oh, I did. Alright, we're good. My third bonus mission was going to be this one that required me to collect 95 blue cells and avoid the red ones, but I quickly changed my mind. You can't destroy that. And that does damage, okay. Oh my gosh, I did not know that was there. These dumb spike balls are dumb. I'm hit by that. I'm pretty sure I could choose a different bonus mission. I might just choose a different one instead. I don't like this level. Yeah, nah, I'm good on this one. I'm gonna find a different one after this.
10 seconds remaining.
That level sucked. Yeah, no thanks. I'm not playing that ever again. So instead, I did this one that required me to push turtles into their nests in 6 minutes. This one was much easier, but I was slow and messed up a few times, so I switched to Ninja Stealth Elf, who is the fastest Skylander I own, and since I knew the level this time, I was easily able to 3-star it, and I got a trophy for doing so. Oh, Rising Star. What's that for? The fourth one was the most annoying one, and it required me to return 6 eggs to this bird in 5 minutes. The enemies were pretty much all the annoying types of greebles, and there were bombs everywhere. And if you get hit, all of the eggs return to their locations, so I had to be extra careful. After a bunch of fails, especially this one where I was less than 10,000 off, someone in my chat pointed out that playing on higher difficulties rewards you with more points. So I increased it to hard, even though I didn't want to do that. But it was worth it because I was able to beat it on my first try, despite some mishaps. Oof. Are you serious, dude? Whatever, I got a big time bonus. Of course that was there. Dude, I really find the bombs unnecessary. And now the pattern is messed up because that just spawned out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, dude. I cooked this run. Yeah, I could have gotten so many points off these dudes, but whatever. Move. Oh, we got it. 300k. Cool. Since I needed a new mission, I quickly collected another map, and this one required me to get gems from 9 gladiator cyclopes in 5 minutes. Simply put, I didn't kill the enemies fast enough on my first run, but on the second run, I played much better and 3-starred my final mission. I threw him off the... Okay, never mind, I've counted. Oh, I think I got it. I think it was 250k. Yep, we're good. We're finally done with that. Heroic champion. Nice, dude. My next goal was to do the same thing, but for 3 team survival arenas. Just like the other Skylanders games, the arena is a mode where you fight multiple waves of enemies. However, this time they want me to do the team version for some reason, so I had to get my second controller and just let it die, which made it harder since now I was fighting in a team mode solo. Like the bonus missions, I needed to reach a high score requirement for all 3 stars, which was harder now thanks to the small arenas and tougher enemies. This first one got pretty crazy, but I managed to get a really high score, and I got trophies for 3-starring my first arena and completing my first arena. Enduring the onslaught. Oh wait, man, I should get another trophy. Slings and arrows. There isn't much to show with these as they're just a bunch of enemies and there isn't much variety, at least among the 3 I completed. However, this happened towards the end of the second one. Bro, get off the spikes, weirdo! Oh my gosh. I died! Are you Dude, there was way too much happening! There was so much happening, dude. I couldn't keep up with anything. Despite that, I beat it on my second attempt, and the third arena wasn't bad, so I 3-starred that and got my trophy. Coming out ahead. Cool. But that's where the fun ends, because now it's time for those 3 extra playthroughs I mentioned. Obviously, you have Nightmare difficulty, which the last one will do, but the other ones are Time Attack and Score mode, and we'll go over Time Attack first. Time Attack puts you through all 17 chapters again, with a timer throughout each one. In place of the collectibles, you have these 20-second pauses, and 5-second pauses drop from boxes and enemies. To get the trophy fastest one around, I need to earn all 3 stars in every chapter, which is done by getting the fastest time they want me to achieve. My strat for this whole thing was to run Ninja Stealth Elf, skip any unnecessary encounters, and play on easy because enemies take longer to kill on higher difficulties, and you gain nothing from playing on them. Also, you know how I mentioned the collectibles are replaced by pauses? I only got the ones I could easily get, as trying to solve a whole puzzle or figuring out how to reach one wastes more time than I'll gain from collecting it. Overall, this playthrough was boring and unnecessary, but for the most part, it went smoothly. After I completed and 3-starred my first level, I got 2 trophies. Race to the finish. Yeah, Mad Dash. Cool. And after 3-starring 2 more, I got another trophy. Yeah, Speed Demon. So yeah, I'm not gonna show every chapter again, but there was one chapter that gave me trouble, and that's chapter 10. On my first run, I got confused at times, which obviously increased my time, but the worst part is that there are multiple sections that you can't speed up, like the moving platforms on this part. You can't jump between them to get the keys faster, so all I could do was camp at the other side and wait for each one, and the worst, the 2 sections where I had to shoot on the caravan. I mean, you're seeing it. The caravan is too slow, and these sections are really long, so I had to try my best to optimize every other part. It just sucks because I wasted 11 minutes on that first run, and then my second run, I just forgot what to do here for some reason. Oh my gosh, I'm messing this up. I'm messing this up so bad. I'm choking right here, dude. What? Why can't I move those back? I'm sure I... Hold up. What's happening here? Why can't I move this over here? Wait, what? Okay. I just wasted so much time. I don't think I win here. Because the time is 11:40 and this is a mandatory slow section, so... Yeah, I failed. I failed that 100%. But on the third attempt, I knew what to do, and I started the final caravan section way earlier, so I finally did it. Okay, we got it. Oh, that level was garbage. Alright, give me the trophy. I did not enjoy that. Fastest one around. Thank you. One playthrough down, now I had to do score mode. This mode adds a score to each chapter, and to 3-star all of them, I have to get the highest score requirement like I did during the bonus missions and arenas. This time, the highest combo is 30 times, and if you die, you'll reset to 1 times. The collectibles are combo increases, and shields drop as well. Unfortunately, like before, I had to play on Nightmare difficulty to maximize my points. I guess it's good practice for the difficulty, but come on. But once I reached the score, I dropped the difficulty to easy and speedran the rest of the chapter. Again, it's just another playthrough, so there isn't much to show, but I was over it by now. 3 extra playthroughs is just unnecessary. But at least this wasn't too hard, despite having to play on Nightmare difficulty, but there was one chapter. Chapter 14 had some pretty bad hiccups throughout, and I was questioning if I'd be able to reach its 400k requirement. But unknown to me, I was acting stupid. Let me show you what happened, then I'll explain the problem. I was not in range of that. Oh, this game is really getting on my nerves now. I might as well restart now. I don't really have good Skylanders, and at this point, I need double my current score to get 3 stars. I'm at this point. Is this the end? I have to restart. I can't. I can no longer get 400k. That is basically the end of the level, and I have way too low of a score. Yeah, no, that's not the end. For some reason, I completely forgot there was a whole section after that part, so I would have reached the goal had I just used my brain a little more. And to make matters worse, I did it twice! I mean, you're watching a Shardyx video, something dumb had to happen. Outside of that, nothing of note happened, so here are all the score mode trophies. Yeah, I did it. Racking up the points, and we should get another trophy. History takes a minute. Reach for the sky. Ooh. High roller. Alright, that is score mode done. That's score mode complete. Now I still have one more playthrough. Give me the trophy. Thank you. Winning streak. Let's go. That playthrough sucked. I did not really enjoy score mode. Finally, we have the full Nightmare difficulty playthrough. And I'll also get times are hard for beating the game on hard difficulty. As you know, this is the hardest difficulty where enemies have more health, deal absurd damage, and food heals for less. This is where my huge collection of NFC cards come in. Yeah, no new figures except Legendary Grim Creeper, but this allowed me to get every Skylander for way cheaper, including this rare specimen. If you know, you know. I'll leave a link on how to set this up in the description if you're interested. For this playthrough, I mostly use Magnet Charge because he's absolutely overpowered. Not only is his gun strong, but he can straight up throw enemies off the map, making most of the fights trivial. Obviously, there were times where I had to play normally, but for the most part, this made the playthrough smooth. Whenever I got into one of these mandatory sections, I switched to an old Skylander to preserve the Swap Force guys, and like Time Attack, I ignored any unnecessary encounters. When it came to the bosses, they were surprisingly easy. Glumshanks just took a while because I had to deal with the enemies first, Whiskers and Shellshock are just easy in general, and even Mesmeralda, I only died once, and that was on the last phase. I don't think she's easy though, I think I was just decent at the fight. The only boss besides the final ones that gave me some trouble was the Fire Viper, but even then, it's only because you take way too much damage on this difficulty. Although 83% of this playthrough was smooth, fittingly, the last 3 chapters had some bad moments. Towards the end of chapter 15, there's this small room containing machines that shoot slime balls at me, 2 of these mine miners spawn in, and a bunch of other enemies. Let's see what I thought of it. Stop moving! What a terrible time to be coughing. This part is general. Oh my gosh, this part's terrible. Like, bro, die! Oh my gosh, bro! Hate this difficulty, bro. I hate this difficulty. Things get worse from here because now I'm against Chaos's mom, or her minions rather, and here are some of the highlights. Oh my gosh, they both came at me at the same time, bruh. I ran into that. That was completely on me. I'm hit. I jumped too early. Oh, that sucks. My range is gone, though. Stop healing them, you fool. I died to that. There was too much happening. I can barely get any hits on these dudes because the moment these guys are vulnerable, that's when those guys are moving. What are you talking about? This game sucks. This game sucks. What is that? Some of the most annoying enemies in the game. Nice. And what even hit me? What even hit me, dude? Look at all the projectiles. This is absurd. You're trash. I won. This fight sucks, bro. I mean, leave it to Nightmare to make me start hating this franchise. And then there's Chaos. The first phase is dirt easy, so let's skip that. But the second is where he spawns all those golems, and once he spawns 2 of them, that's where things fall apart. I couldn't do anything. That was so bad. What? Oh my god. Unfortunately, since Magna Charge was gone, I couldn't throw the enemies off, so this phase kinda sucked. But worst of all, this happened. Oh. Now that's good. Literally spawning in knocked them all down. Are you gonna do something? No, don't tell me this bugged out. Don't tell me knocking all those off. There's some dude like on an invisible hitbox, bro. I think some fool's on an invisible hitbox. I don't know where this enemy is, and I can't get down. That's very nice. I love that. Well, that sucks. This second run went worse than the other one, and I was not very happy. I just died to nothing again! I was trying to use the tiger, and it wouldn't use it. Either I die to the spinning dude, or I die to the laser. I just died to nothing. This difficulty sucks. He hadn't even done that yet. But thankfully. Alright, finally. Now the free part. The boss fight's basically over. Doesn't matter how many Skylanders I use here, because I don't need to attack. So, before we end this journey, I want to give some final thoughts on the whole thing. Overall, I think this game is good, but not great. I really enjoyed the gameplay, with the swappers especially, but the story just didn't jump out as much as Giants or Trap Team. None of the levels stood out, the bosses were okay, and the narrative, whilst never exactly great in Skylanders, felt even less compelling in this one to me. But it does have features that I think should have been in newer games as well. Overall, I'd put this at number 3 in my ranking, but this trophy list sucks. Obviously, you already know my thoughts on everything, but yeah, this was definitely the weakest trophy list so far, and it definitely doesn't help that they couldn't find some way to make newsworthy obtainable. But of course, I'm not done with the series, so if you want to see me do Skylanders Superchargers, drop a like and subscribe, and you'll see it in the near future. But with that said, let's not get this platinum. Alright, there we go. Nightmare difficulty is done. Alright, do the trophies pop right here? Night of Nightmares, and one more trophy. Times are hard. I wish I got the platinum there, but can't do newsworthy. So that's the end of the game right there. I wish you would shut up. I have a thing to claim right here. What is that? I never have to hear you yap ever again. Yeah, you would give me that after I beat Nightmare difficulty. I have no idea how long it took me to get this platinum since there's no way to track that. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. If you'd like to see my other Skylanders platinums, click this playlist on screen, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.